Hi everyone, my name is Nancy Braun and we're here at the L'Oreal Academy, and I am here to present and demonstrate Majirel GLOW, the next trend in hair color. But I'm also so lucky to have Selena with us. And Selena?
Hi, I'm Selena DeLuca. I am a hair color marketing manager for L'Oreal Professionnel, and I'm here to take your questions, so please feel free to ask and we'll get those questions to Nancy.
So Majirel, you know, Majirel GLOW is the next trend in hair color. And where this evolved was from makeup. And so we know that the glow trend that is happening around the world, and what we've done at L'Oreal is we've created this amazing product called Majirel GLOW that you can use with existing Majirel and also on its own. So let's take a look at my gorgeous model here and I'll take you through what I'm gonna do on her. So the beautiful thing about this product is that it has, I'm gonna show you it right here. It's just like Majirel. It has 11 shades, no level to the shades. We have 5 shades that are for dark hair and 5 shades for light hair, meaning from level 6 to 9 we have light shades, and then we have the dark shades for the levels 1 through 5. So let's just take a look at Morgan's hair. So as we look at it, we can see some cool tones running through here, and we can also see some warm tones. So what I'm doing is, in order to neutralize some of the cool shades, I'm using the Majirel GLOW, and I'm using the shade Light 0.13, which is tonality 0.1, which is blue, and gold. And I'm using 12.5 volume, and you can see I'm carrying it all the way through the end so that I can get some nice neutralization. And 12.5 is a brand new volume for us, so we're really, really excited about it. The product can be also used with 20 volume. And what other volume can we use it with, Selena?
30, so 12.5, 20, or 30, and it depends how much lift you want.
Exactly. So you can see what I'm doing is I'm pulling it all the way through in order to gain a little bit more neutralization. So the beauty of this particular product is that it has 4 times the translucency of Majirel Classic that you know. And so with this shade, I'm going to still keep the lightness and the sheerness for the color.
Why did you choose the 0.13 blue gold, Nancy?
So the reason I chose that particular shade was so that I can get neutralization. And because she's already pre-lightened in places, I need to cool it a little bit, but not too much. But we have amazing shades. We have the 0.12 and we have the 0.21. And in the light family, it's amazing to be able to use. I also mix mine with clear. We have a brand new shade of Majirel GLOW called Clear. And that can be used with existing Majirel as well as with Majirel GLOW. And we all know what clear does. It reduces the intensity of any shade that we mix it with. So I'm putting in my glow pieces first, and then I'm putting in my highlights with Platinum second. And it's a great technique. It can be used in foil, it can be used for global color, and it can also be used for balayage. And we have a couple different services that we offer with it. We offer Glow, which is just on virgin hair. And I have a beautiful model to show you in just a few minutes so that you can see that. And I also have the next technique, which is this, Glow Lights. And that way you can do, whether you do highlights with foil or you do balayage, this is an amazing product to be able to use for that and technique. And then the last version is Glow Refresh. When your client comes back in for a single process, how do you refresh her mids and ends with that?
Yeah, we really love that this product really is for every client walking through the door. So the new glow technology that we're seeing in beauty. So it's also really easy to explain to your client what service you're giving them, because we know she's already really interested in it. Can you talk a little bit about the processing time?
So the processing time is just like Majirel, 35 minutes. It's mixed with 2.6 ounces of developer. And again, your choice, 12.5, 20 or 30, right? And today we're using it with 12.5. And again, we're using shade 0.13 in the light family.
Awesome.
And you just got some Majirel GLOW. What do you think about it?
I love it very much. I'm also wearing the shade, the L.13, so light blue gold. mixed with some platinum pieces and some 0.13 pieces. What I really love about it is that I'm a typical balayage client. I don't really get global applications, but it's something different and neutralizing that's gonna last because it's permanent, just like Majirel.
And I think one of the most exciting things about it is that it has 4 times the translucency and color reflection than classic Majirel. So for instance, I have a client that I applied 4.20 on, and classic Majirel. And a lot of times with that shade, I'd get a lot of depth with it because it has base in it, right? With Glow, the D.20 is amazing because I got translucency and vibrancy, but without the depth. And that's a really beautiful thing with the reflective color that comes through.
We have a question from Victoria. She says, can you use it in foil or just freehand?
You most certainly can use it in foil, and I highly recommend it.
Awesome. We have a question from Alma. Would the clear have lifting action?
Yes, it will. So, great question. Does the clear have lifting action? It does, because we all know that Majirel contains ammonia. And so this product does contain ammonia. So we, again, need to use our color brains and make sure that when we're formulating and mixing, we know that the clear is always going to dilute somewhat. So just keep that in mind, that you're minimizing the intensity of tone when you mix it with Glow or you mix it with Majirel. Classic.
Majirel, exactly. Thank you.
Now, the one thing too about it that I'm absolutely crazy about is the shine. It gives the most incredible shine, and I'm a big Majirel fan and I love that product, but this is a different kind of shine, and it really is luminous. It's prismatic. It's got such a beautiful feeling to it, and the clients are going nuts for it in my salon as we're using it.
I hope it's showing on the video how amazing that shine is, because you can definitely see it in person. We have a question from Kara. Can you tone with Glow?
So great question, Kara. You can do some toning with it. Again, we've launched it with a 12.5 volume, and the reason that we launched it with a 12.5 volume is so that if you want to get some toning action, just keep in mind it does contain ammonia. So if you are using it on natural pigment, you could get some shifting action. So we'll take another little look at her hair and see what's going on. There's really an opportunity to really go in and be able to neutralize some of those tones. If I wanted to see it on the cooler side, I could even use the L.12, which is beautiful because it'll control obviously the warm tones that are in the hair. And all the shades that we've launched are in the cool family. So you're gonna have lots of opportunity to be able to use this product and get more concentration of cooling, but you will not lose, you will not get too much depth. And that's what I want you to understand with the light shades. You'll get that tonal deposit, but it won't make things dark.
Absolutely. Super important, especially for our existing balayage and highlight clients.
So you can see we're going in, we're doing a classic balayage as we do, and where she's already really light, I'm going to be using my lightener, and where she's warmer in between, I'm going to be using my Glow Light so that I can neutralize more of those tones. How about a big shout out to all our salon-centric fans out there, our RDA fans and our State Beauty fans. That's where you can pick up this product. And when does it launch, Selena?
It launches September 1st. You can buy it anywhere that L'Oreal Professional is sold. Again, it's Majirel GLOW. We have 5 shades for light bases, so that's 6 through 10. 5 shades for dark, 1 through 5, and then a brand new Majirel clear. So Majirel is finally getting that clear that everyone loves in all of our other color lines.
Yeah, clear is such a great addition because it gives us opportunity to really custom create anything we want as hairdressers, and that's just a gift. It's like having a full color chart plus an extra one with clear. So remember, with this product, you can use it globally, And what might be nice is if we bring in our model and we show our global application.
Awesome. So we actually have a model that, what would you say her starting level was, Nancy?
So her starting level is a level 5. And what we chose to do was and she had virgin hair, right? So, I mean, that doesn't happen very often. So imagine that. See, do we have her? Okay, perfect. Can we see her? Excellent. So with her color, what we did is at the root area, we used our 12.5 volume and we mixed it with Majirel Classic. So our formula was this: 3/4 of 5 and 1/4 of D2O with 20 volume. And we used that on what would be the new growth of a virgin application. And then through the mids and the ends, we used the D2O with 20 volume. Processed that for 35 minutes, and rinsed it out. And then we did some delicate balayage pieces to face frame her, and we did a gloss with it. So we made 12.5 volume, and we used the D.21. So therefore we were able to pick up a little bit more violet, but we got a little hint of that blue because in the lightning action with the balayage, we ended up getting a little bit of warmth through the hair. We always get warmth, right? And that 0.1 really counteracted and neutralized that.
Awesome. And I really think it's amazing that we got this type of color result without having to pre-lighten. I know we gave her the balayage around the face to really contour, but that all over color is straight 35 minutes.
And you know, the thing with the trend is that clients always want to know what's in trend. And so your client may not want anything quite as vibrant or as strong, but the beauty is that you get to customize it. And you've got your entire palette of Majirel Classic that now you can mix with Glow in order to create anything and everything you want. So again, come take a look where it's a little bit on the warmer side and a little bit on the brassier side here. If I can get you to come a little tighter. Thank you. And what we're going for here is neutralization. And so we're using actually the very same formula that we used on Selena. So Selena's kind of the after. And what that 0.13 does is it's just going to cool it off a little bit. And that's what we're looking for.
So what if we have a client that needs a little bit of white coverage or white blending? What are the rules with Majirel GLOW?
So Majirel GLOW does not have a level assigned to it. And so because it doesn't have a level assigned to it, you know, when you check out the packaging, you want to make sure that you have clarity between the light and the dark shades. But because there's no level, you're going to get some coverage, but not like you do with Majirel Classic. So if you want coverage, you'll mix Majirel Classic with your GLOW.
Absolutely, and up to half and half, we say. But if you have to cover over 30% white, mix in natural up to a half, and you'll still get that nice tone, but with the coverage that you're looking for.
Yes, and I have a client in Los Angeles that I did with it, and she loves fun hair color, and she has about 40% gray. And you know, she doesn't mind bright roots. So I went in and I used it directly, and it came out so beautiful, and it was fine hair, and I did receive, you know, coverage, which I was very happy about, but I didn't lose depth. I really got a bright translucent result. And that reflective shine that comes through, even the client noticed. She said, "What did you use that's different?" And I said, "We used a new product on you." And she said, "I really can feel the difference." And the stylist told me the same thing as they were drying her. So it's pretty fantastic, you know, new product to offer new services to your clients. And we know the trend is cool this season, right? For the last few seasons, everything's on the cool side. So the shades that we have, maybe we can take a little look at the color chart, if that's possible.
Absolutely, we can pull up our color chart for everybody watching on Facebook Live, and then I also have one here, over here for the Instagram Live. You tell me. Good?
Perfect.
Awesome.
So just so you know, right, here you have your tonal shades. So you've got L11, so you've got a strong blue, L12, a blue violet, L13, a blue gold, L21, a violet blue, and then L22, a really true strong violet. And then in these shades, in the dark family, you have the D17, and everybody loves a green. So we've got a blue-green. Then we have a 1-1, which is a really strong blue-blue, a 1-2, a 1-3, and a 2-0.
Awesome.
And our magic shade of clear, right? Clear is going to be such a fun shade to play with this product.
Everyone's really excited about clear. We're getting some requests to see our beautiful dark model Eden again.
Let's bring Eden back. Come on back, Eden.
If we can get even closer.
Yeah, and let's maybe spin around and let's take a look at that glorious shine in the back, right? And you can really see, you put your hands kind of underneath.
I'm going to guide you.
Okay. Perfect.
Better? This way. Awesome. Perfect. So Eden has the 0.20, the D20, so the violet, violet, violet. And we can pull up her before.
Right. So you can see she's quite dark.
Yeah.
And we gave her a beautiful haircut and did some reshaping of her layers, which is wonderful to see. But look at that tone and look at that shine coming through the hair.
Perfect.
It's really beautiful. And then you can see a little bit of the lighter pieces from the balayage peeking through. But remember, that was glowed with 0.21 and 12.5 volume in order to give it that shine. So the tones all work together with each other. So you've got lots of options as a hairdresser and as creative people, which I know you all are out there, and you like to play. And this product gives you the chance to play. Remember, it's the next trend in hair color. Glowing, whether it's makeup or whether it's hair, it really is what's happening in today's world.
Yes, and she was virgin when we started, so no pre-lightening necessary, and we got this beautiful color result.
Right. The only pre-lightening we needed to do was just to give her a little bit of a face frame around the balayage, the balayage around her face, to give it just a touch of brightness, because we also wanted to play with a secondary color and do a little bit of a gloss with it.
Everybody's loving that color change, and you have a shout out from Xana. She says Nancy is the best ever.
Hi, Xana.
So if we could come back to our beautiful blonde model over here and just also pull up her before.
Yes, let's take a look at that.
So this will be our glow light service. So really, if you add these services to your service menu in the salon, your clients are really gonna know what they're going to be getting because they interact with this trend in makeup and in skincare. So this would be our existing highlight and balayage client, and we're doing highlights and glow lights.
That's right. Highlights and glow lights. And the one thing I will share with you guys is that, for instance, if you're using, let's say, the 0.12 in glow, you're going to get much more of a translucent look than if you used a 9.12 in Majirel. And I think that's one of the points of difference about the product, is that it's not that it has depth, it actually has 4 times the amount of tonal quality. And the deposit is amazing.
Right. That 4 times more translucency is really everything when you drop off that level. But the base in there really gives it that long-lasting permanent color that everyone's looking for.
And by the way, can we bring her back?
Sure.
Right? We never get tired of seeing you, Eden. We love
right up where you were before.
So
right in front of her feet.
Let's like go forward in time, and let's say it's time for her to come back for her glow refresh, right? So when we refresh it, what we're gonna do is, so she'll have 6-8 weeks of outgrowth. We'll use our formula with Majirel and our D20. And then what we'll do is we'll use our 12.5 volume to refresh the ends for a beautiful refresh, to bring that 0.2, that violet, that gorgeous eggplanty color back through the mid-lengths and the ends.
Love that option with 12.5, because some people get nervous about pulling that permanent color through the mid-lengths and ends.
Yes, they do. And we're as hairdressers, we're always sensitive about ammonia through the mids and the ends. But remember, what you've got with this product is 4 times the amount of reflective quality than what you're used to with Majirel Classic. So it's a great bonus. So not a lot of base and a lot of tonal quality.
Absolutely.
So we're kind of rounding around to the money piece, and we all know how everybody likes that money piece. And again, we're using a combination of glow
So is that the glow or the platinum
So
that you're
this is
painting with
platinum
now?
around the
Okay.
hairline, just for a little extra added brightness. But then right behind it, what I'm doing is adding the glow. And the one thing about Morgan's hair when she came in is that she really has a lot of highlights. And so she's lost contrast. And the nice thing about this is, again, with 12.5 volume, I'm gonna get a lot more contrast in the hair.
So we have a question about how you would mix your glow into if you had someone that you usually do Magi Blonde with. Can we talk a little bit about that?
So is that something that, I haven't had experience with that.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to address that, or, I mean, I would more than likely maybe not do that.
Definitely.
Because it feels like Magi Blonde is a product that's designed to lift and deposit, and it's its own little machine,
Definitely.
right? And Glow is designed to be used within the Majirel line.
Exactly, and really focused on tone rather than lifting. So you have your Magi High Lift and your Magi Blonde to lift and do a little tone, but this is really focused on that slight lift and getting that glow out of the product.
And your guys are going to be surprised with the amount of deposit that you're going to get. You really are going to get beautiful deposit, but without depth, which is so amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know as hairdressers that cool shades will make things look a little bit darker. But in the past, with the existing products that we have, sometimes it drops our highlights too dark. And what this won't do is this will keep the brightness and the lightness of it, but it'll give that sheer tone coming all the way through. So you see right behind my balayage piece, I'm gonna come back up and add my glow lights. And I love talking about it really with my clients as a technique. It's like I'm talking about glow lights and they're like, what's that? And then I get the opportunity to explain to them, this is a brand new trend in hair color, and we're gonna be able to cool your hair off even more than we used to.
Absolutely, and everybody wants that, especially right now.
Especially right now. It's what the kids are after.
Can you talk a little bit about when you'll be here at the Academy?
Oh yeah, so I will be in the Academy with Travis Parker. We're gonna be at the Academy in California, and so that's located down in Huntington Beach. And we're gonna be there October 28th and 29th. So I'm really looking forward. We're doing a hair cutting and color class called the Painted Haircut. I look forward to being back in 2020 so that we can have a little bit more education.
Awesome. So do you find it's easy to paint with the Majirel Glow?
I do. You know, I've always been a fan of painting with Majirel because I love the creamy consistency of the product. You know, it glides on like icing. You know, it's really easy to paint with. And I found that very easy when I've used it for low lights. So for me, I'm gonna be really having a good time with it, being able to go in and even erase, like my friend Min Kim does, going in and erasing some of this solidness and giving her more contrast in between. Can you see that? So you see how solid she has become about right here? So I really want to bring that down and bring it all the way through. And again, because I'm putting it on the pieces that are more golden and more honey, and it is with the 12.5 volume, it will give me toning ability without any kind of damage to the hair.
So we just have a clarifying question.
Sure.
Talk a little bit how this is a color versus it's different from a lightener, but you do get that lift, because we do want to communicate that this is a permanent color.
Absolutely.
So we're using it next to Blonde Studio Platinum Plus.
That's correct. So here's the new packaging. How about that? Isn't that cool? So we're really excited about this. So Majirel GLOW starts us off with a brand new look. So it'll be easy to identify, and then you can see as you move in closer. Oops. I thought I was helping, but apparently I wasn't, right? So you can see the markings on it. So that's the 1-3 that I'm using, and it says it's light. But this is a permanent hair color. What's different about this particular product is that it has a lot less base in it than Majirel, right? That we know classically that we use every day. So you're gonna see more translucency in your color deposit. you're also going to see more color, more dye, because when you take the base out, you get more. And I'm going to continue to work while I talk.
Definitely. We're really excited about the new packaging. It's beautiful.
Yes, we're thrilled about it. And I was playing in my salon a couple weeks ago with my team, and what we did is we were playing around with swatch testing. So one of the things I like to do in my business is make sure that we understand the shade for exactly what it is, so we really can see what the dye load is. And so we'll test it out on swatches. And if I don't have swatches, I'll mix it as it's suggested by the manufacturer, and then I'll put it on a white paper or a white towel. And therefore, after it processes for 35 minutes, you truly can see the dye load. So notice my balayage with my platinum is going on the dark hair, and my glow is going on the hair that's too warm in order to be able to neutralize that. And all the shades that we're starting off with are all neutralizing shades.
Yes.
My guess is maybe down the road there'll be some different shades coming out.
Maybe in November.
Okay.
We have a question from Raphael. Just a little bit about your formula for Majirel, because it's so easy to paint with. Did you add anything to it to thicken it?
Great question, Raphael. I do not. Majirel is thick enough as it is. And you know, if you want to take a look, I don't know if you can get in, you can see that it's a nice creamy texture. It's not dropping, it's not too thin, and it'll stay exactly where you put it. And that's another reason why I love Majirel.
Thank you. So when you're doing the balayage, are you going to tone afterwards? I know we didn't tone me. We didn't need to.
Right.
But what's your plan with Morgan?
So my plan with Morgan is not to tone it. Again, I'm using the 1-3. Now, if she said to me, I'd like to see a little bit more of a cool violet cast all over my hair, then I absolutely would. But most of the time I don't make the decision on the gloss until I see what it lifted to. And that's really, as a colorist, how I work in the shop. So once I see it, then I make my determination.
I love the way it came out on my hair without the gloss, for sure.
Right? Just, and a beautiful face frame. And it just gives it that little pop. Yeah, quick. Super quick. And you can see I'm not concerned about bringing it down through the mid-lengths and the ends, because I really do want full deposit. For some of the highlights, I didn't bring it all the way down because that hair is already very, very pale, right? So all your rules that you've learned as a colorist, you still want to pay attention to, because those will still apply. How about giving my friends out at RDA a shout out, right?
You have fans from all over the world watching now.
Well, I feel really blessed. I feel like we have such a great job as hairdressers. We get to meet the coolest people. We get to have great conversations, and we get to make people feel good. And that is such a blessing, to have a career where you get to make people happy every single day. So I never take it for granted. You know, and I love working with L'Oreal because I've traveled the world. I've gotten to meet the most amazing people through my relationship with L'Oreal.
I love it. I completely agree. I just had my 4-year anniversary.
You did?
Yep.
Do you want to know what my anniversary was this year?
Do you want to tell us?
Yep. This is my 30th year with L'Oreal.
It's amazing.
Right? 3-0.
It's amazing. So for anybody just joining us, we are introducing Majirel GLOW, which launches on September 1st from L'Oreal Professionnel. Nancy is actually painting with Blonde Studios Platinum Plus for the highlight, and then that glow light, we're calling it, is the L.13. So the L means light for light bases, and the 1.3 is a blue gold, mixed with 12.5 volume developer, which is a new developer that we launched to go with Majirel GLOW, for that pull through on mids and ends, and so you don't expose too much warmth, and just to get that nice natural glow.
And honestly, I don't know if it picks up on camera, but if you take a look, while the product's been sitting for maybe about 20 minutes or so, you can see it's picking up that violet cast. So you actually can see what's happening. When you use the other shades, like the 0.21, you really will see a little bit more violet. When you use the 0.20, you will see a lot more violet. And it's, you know, it's a good indicator of what's actually happening to the hair when you see what's happening in the jar. And notice too, while I'm doing my low lights here, I'm actually making sure that it's on the underneath side. So I'm completely saturating so that I can get a nice cool tone running all the way through.
We have another question about the different volumes of developers you can use Majirel GLOW with and how that correlates to the levels of lift you're gonna get, if you just wanna run through that again for everybody just joining.
Right. So if you're gonna use 12.5, and here it is in its package right next to me, right? So this is the brand new 12.5. You're gonna get about a level of lift, right? And if you're using 20 volume, you're gonna get up to 2 levels of lift. And if you're using 30, again, depends on what base you're putting it on, you're gonna get somewhere between 2.5 levels of lift, correct?
Absolutely, up to 3.
Up to 3.
Thank you. And then we do have a collection for light bases, so we categorize light as 6 through 10, and then a collection for dark bases, which is 1 through 5. And what I really love about those dark bases is that, you know, brunettes don't really love to use lightener if they're not looking to go blonde. But
Right.
This is a really easy way to get that deposit in one step, and it's only a 35-minute processing time.
That's right. And clients love things that are quick and fast, without a doubt. So let's just take a look right here. So here I am next to my blonde piece, but look how warm this piece is. So I want to go in, get some neutralization on that piece. And then as I move down towards the ends, you see I'm painting on both sides of the hair. And I do that most of the time when I'm doing a low light, but remember, this is a glow light. And again, I'm searching out my areas that need neutralization first, and then I'll put my highlights in second.
Is that how you usually work? Glow
Sometimes,
or low first?
Most of the time I put the high in first, and then I put the low light in between. But in this case, because I'm actually seeking out the warmer pieces, I'm putting the lows in, the glow lights in first. It's a mouthful.
So let's just bring up our beautiful blonde model Morgan's before pictures again, just so we can see where we started.
Absolutely. And for the finished result, we're going to show all that afterwards on the L'Oreal Professional website. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. And you can also find step-by-steps on the L'Oreal Professional Pro site beyond this. We did a photo shoot with our amazing artists, and we have all 3 services showcased up on our Pro site right now.
Right, and those 3 services are Glow, Glow Lights, and Glow Refresh, right? So initially when you get started into this product, you've got 3 services that you can offer, but I know how creative you guys are. You guys are gonna come up with about 100 other ways to use this product in the course of time, and we're excited for you to play and find out and discover what you can do with Glow.
Definitely. We already sent it to our L'Oreal Professional artists for that sneak peek, and I see all the different ways that they're playing with it.
Oh, you know us, we break the rules. But that's part of the fun.
Definitely.
You know? And with anything, you always want to learn the foundation first. You know, I talk about this a lot when I'm teaching at the Academy. And just as any product, you know, it's designed by a chemist, it's designed by L'Oreal Professional, so that you've got the right things that work with it. However, I know you're creative and you mix a little bit of this, you mix a little bit of that, and the idea is have fun and play, but know the rules first. So we know it can be used with 12.5, 20, and 30. We know that with 12.5, you're gonna get a level of lift or up to a level. We know that with 20 to 30, up to 3. And we also know that it can be mixed with Majirel Classic. So that's how you're gonna start with the product. But I know you guys, you're gonna have so much fun. You're gonna come up with 10 other techniques. You know, the first time you use it, oh, I'm gonna try it this way. So I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I can't wait to explore even more with it with my clients.
I can't wait to see it too. So if everyone who tries Majirel GLOW could post and hashtag Majirel GLOW and hashtag L'Oreal Pro US, we'll be able to see your beautiful work.
And you can see I'm rounding down to the last side. And again, every side is different, right? When I take a look at her hair, you know, she was telling us that she's working as a flight attendant, so she's busy, she's on the go. And when I look at what's going on with her hair, I want to try to erase some of this warmth because I can tell she likes cool. And you may even see a little bit of a soft violet cast in there because she likes the cool shampoos, right? And now we're going to give her that in a much more long-lasting way because we know that the color shampoos don't last quite as long, or color conditioners. This is going to give her much more of a longer lasting result, and she won't have to rely on those type of products as much.
Absolutely. And I also think it's a product that builds loyalty because right now there's not much that can give us these results, and that's marketed as the glow service for our clients.
Right. And loyalty in our business is so key, but that always comes down to using the best products, making sure that your customer service is above average, right? You want your customer service to be out of the park, right? And when you have those kind of relationships with your clients and you're always showing them something new, you'll see that they'll never leave your chair because they love you so much. And it's planting seeds. You know, I just talked about that. I just taught an academy class with Urish Hooker, and we had a cut and color program, and we were talking about how customer service is so important, but more importantly, planting seeds and letting the client know what their options are. The number one reason why clients leave us in the salon is, anybody know? It's because they get bored, because we don't make suggestions, and we need to make suggestions to them. And if we're not making suggestions, they're seeing a girlfriend's hair or somebody else's hair, or they're on Instagram or Facebook, and we need to always offer options. Is it okay if I move this way? Can you guys see me? We doing okay? Great.
So if we wanted a sneak peek of the after,
yes,
I think if we just do a little close-up of my results.
Yes.
It was the 0.13 mixed with clear.
Correct, half and half.
Half and half.
With 12 volume.
Yes.
And we also used platinum as well to give her a little bit of a pop. But really we used it for more neutralization. So if you look through here, you can see, you know, adding a little bit more of a neutral over some of those pieces that were picking up a little bit more of the gold family. And we did it pretty fast. Wouldn't you say we knocked
Really
that out
fast.
in about an hour?
Definitely.
Maybe we shaved 10 minutes off of that.
Maybe.
Maybe. The most important thing with this product is to start to experiment with it and play and have some fun, right? If you're more cautious of a colorist, you're gonna mix it with Majirel Classic. If you're more of an adventurous colorist, then what you're gonna do is play with it and see what results you get. You know, I usually start with a low volume with things. So I like to start with a 12.5. Gives me a little bit more control. And as a hairdresser, I like control because I'm busy and I don't want to have to redo work. And I think it's a great thing that everybody in the salon wears it too, right? Those who can. That it's something that you're able to show clients what it looks like, because the shine is incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And it's a different type of shine than what we're used to. So it's really got a sheer, prismatic, translucent shine that pops through.
So the shade that we're using right now is the same shade that is in my hair. So that's the L.13, the blue gold for light bases.
Right? And I would say, like, out of all the shades, it's a really safe shade.
I think so.
Right? So if, again, you're a little bit more conservative, you can play with that shade, right? And that comes in a light and a dark.
It does.
Right?
It does.
Which is super cool. So you've got options.
And the difference is in the way it's formulated for what kind of base you're putting it on.
Right.
So we really want to pay attention to that shade label where it says light versus dark.
Right. And so remember, the light shades are for levels 6 to 9 or 6 to 10, and your dark shades are for levels 1 to 5. And you want to make sure that you're really paying attention when you mix that.
Definitely. We have a question. Just a reminder what lightener you're using.
So the lightener I'm using is platinum. and I'm using it with 30 volume.
That's your favorite.
It's one of my favorites. You know, I have a lot of favorites, right? There may be some new favorites coming out, but I absolutely love it, and it's one of my go-tos. But I'm a big fan of the Blonde Studio line. So I use Blonde Studio all day long, every day. I'm in Los Angeles, I'm in New York. In New York, clients like things that are a little bit more multi-tonal. In California, the blonder the better. And so I've got multi-techniques for that, which is a great lightener as well. So the Blonde Studio range I've never gone wrong with. And you see I'm kind of winding up to the end of my application. And again, remember, I'm saturating all the way through. But by the way, for those of you who are doing this technique with foil, you're going to see that you're going to get great neutralization.
And then this will process for how long?
So it'll process for 35 minutes. I may or may not choose to put some heat on it, but again, my client is naturally level 7, so she's pretty light to start with. So she will, you know, it won't take too long, but the processing time for Glow is 35 minutes, just like Majirel.
Exactly. And do you find that it matches up with the platinum nicely if you're going to do both at the same time?
Right, so just like how we did your hair, we didn't add any heat to it, and so we let it process for pretty close to the full development time, right? Mm-hmm. And the highlights came up in perfect time with the Majirel Glow. But it's also an option if you want. You can add heat, you know, and the heat is a catalyst. So what does it do? It speeds things up. It's an accelerant. So just remember when you use heat that you're taking into consideration your highlight versus the amount of time your color needs to deposit. Let's bring you back in. Come on in. Let's take another look at this as we're kind of winding up.
Just awesome. So Eden, if you just want to turn around for us. Eden was a virgin natural level 5 actually. And we did this in one step. So this is the D.20, the violet, violet, violet for the dark bases. And it's no pre-lightening necessary. On her root, if you just want to tilt your chin up a little bit, on her root, Nancy, what did we do there? Because I know we...
Right, so we wanted a little bit more of a drop shadow root. So I used 3/4 of Majirel number 5 and 1/4 of the D.20 with 20 volume, or sorry, with 12.5 volume, right? And then on the mid links and ends, we wanted to see more vibrancy coming through. So that was where we used 20. So we used the D.20 and 20. And we processed the entire thing for 35 minutes.
How did you like the way the result came out when you mixed it with the natural?
I loved it. I loved it because I really did want some shadow in the root. I didn't want the root to be too bright.
Absolutely.
Right? And if I had used the D.20 with 20 at the root, it would have been electric. So I was looking for something a little bit more subtle and a little bit more muted, but I really wanted the drama to come down through the mid-lengths and the ends of the hair. And that was also a little bit lighter, which actually worked to my advantage. So her ends had a little bit more of a golden honey color. So I knew it would get a little bit more bright and a little bit more electric there. The product was really easy to apply, even a little bit looser. It was very easy to move through the hair, and it had a great conditioning quality to it. So we did the base, root, mid-lengths and ends, done. She was a one and done. And then we detailed a little bit around the face in order to give her just a little bit of that balayage feel and give her just a touch of dimension on the inside.
It looks beautiful, and I think a lot of our brunette clients that, you know, haven't colored their hair, they're always wanting to go this type of color, and this is going to make it really easy for our hairdressers to do.
Exactly, and even the shades, like for those of you with dark levels, and you're thinking like, I want to get the deposit, but I don't want to get too much depth. That 1.7 is gorgeous on dark hair. And then you also have the 1.2 and the 1.1. So even if you're working on Asian hair or very, very, very dark hair, because there's not a lot of base in that color, you're gonna really get that translucent glow coming through. Okay, it looks like we're coming down to the last section. How you doing down there, Morgan?
I'm good.
You good? You've been a trooper, so thank you for being a trooper today.
No problem.
We can't do what we do without all the beautiful girls that come our way. So now take a look there at this section. So here's where it's really warm and here's where it's really warm. That's where I'm going to use my glow. I'm going to put a highlight there and a highlight there. And that's how I'm going to proceed.
Awesome. And I love that we're showing the difference between, you know, the D2O is super vibrant and beautiful, but still cool. But the result on Morgan is going to be so natural.
Without a doubt, just like your hair, right?
Yes.
So that's the beauty of it, is that you have versatility with this product. You can get something that's very intense, and you can also get something that's very sheer. And when I mixed up my Majirel GLOW, remember it's half clear, half L13. And because I'm a salon owner, right, I just mixed up what I needed, which was a half a tube of color for the application. And so then I broke it down as far as 1.3 ounces of my 12.5 volume and a half a tube of the product, a quarter of clear and a quarter of my 1.3. And there you have it.